New Order of the World. French success in North America. Throughout history, the French and Indian War remains a crucial and significant event in North America's dispute for power. Nonetheless, in this parallel dimension, historical events take another course. France triumphs over the British and changes the layout of the colonial world, thereby leading the future American Revolution down an alternative pathway. As the clash unravels, the power of France and its indigenous comrades is too much for Britain to handle. Through smart tactics, sneaky diplomacy, and military strength, France locks in control of a large part of North America, damaging Britain's plan there. In the corridors of power in London, the news of loss reverberates across the British establishment, causing politicians and policymakers to struggle with the impact of France's victory. The grandeur of a British Empire that would stretch across the continent has turned to tatters, replaced by the reality of French supremacy. However, in the face of the hopelessness and unpredictability, the American North to British colonies begin embracing a new kind of strong will. Now that they are without the shield that the British Crown used to provide them, they are starting to be attacked by the French advantage. The situation forces the British colonies to protect themselves, and this is exactly what they intend to do, by any means necessary, to fight against the encroachment. Then, a decision to build alliances with one of French enemies, the Native American tribes, took place and turned to be very handy. Moreover, the action to unite some of their neighboring colonies was a significant dimension of their way to the final survival. Within the colonies, the triumph of the French gives rise to acts of defiance and protest. The subjects of the French crown have grown tired of French rule and dream of the freedoms and promises provided by the British. Their fury against the apparent injustices they have been made to endure endows them with the strength to defy and shake off allegiance and pursue independence. They have been inflamed with a longing to re-embrace the memory of their forefathers who fought for freedom and fairness against daylight tyranny, and they will not stop fighting until they have reclaimed what was so cruelly stolen from them. While the uprising extended out, they faced stern resistance from the French government, who decided to quash anything that posed a threat to their reign with unwavering might. The colonies were hit with penalties and harsh repression, as anyone who stood against them was forcefully quieted, and those who rebelled were unmercifully pursued and then penalized. In the face of overwhelming obstacles, the unyielding flame of defiance burns, ignited by the joining together in common purpose of all sorts of patriots. From the city of Boston to the countryside of Virginia, these men and women bring their courage and commitment to the common cause, inspired by the conviction that they are fighting for the right to freedom and self-government which they hold to be their birthright. Over time, the North American conflict escalated and became a global issue, drawing in European superpowers who desired to assert their dominance on the world stage. France, satisfied with its success in North America, felt emboldened to continue its territorial expansion, challenging UK dominance in the continents of Europe, Africa, and Asia. Nevertheless, as France expands its influence worldwide, it becomes increasingly overextended. The expenses attached to managing its global empire begin to encroach on the benefits. The economy weakens, and the people feel dissatisfied with the state of France. The political structure is also not stable, and the weakening of the regime in its foundations leads to a new period of social and political upheaval. In the colonies of North America, rebellion is gaining momentum, fueled by the failings and overstepping of the French authorities. Citizens are rising up against their rulers, invoking the same values of liberty, equality, and self-determination that have fueled their own struggle for independence. Amid the turmoil and disorder of war, a new country was birthed. A country constructed in the mayhem of battle and purified in the flaming furnace of protest. A country united by a shared creed of self-governance and universal liberty. Today it remains imperishable, eternal, and unfathomable. The American Revolutionary War could never be conceived as a humiliation. Instead, it was the impetus and the genesis of a new world. A world in which the ideals of equality, freedom, and fraternity could be experienced in full, and not under the coercive forces of social privilege and political oppression.